My most popular video by far on this channel is the Should You Become a Lawyer video. I will link to it up here as well as in the description down below. But what if you're a law student who decides not to become a lawyer? Or what if you're a lawyer who is looking for a new career? Well, in this video, I will be taking a look at 10 alternative careers for law graduates. If you're new here, hi, my name's Aisha. I'm a lawyer and entrepreneur based in Montreal, Canada, and I make videos about becoming a lawyer, law school, entrepreneurship, and a wide variety of topics. Also, before we get started, I will be linking to any resources I can find on the jobs I will be mentioning in this video in the description down below. So let's start with a career that we don't talk about very much, being a legal design consultant. This might be the very first time you hear about legal design. One of my really good friends who went to law school with me and then worked for a bit in private practice is actually now a legal design consultant. But what is legal design? So in legal design, we apply design thinking principles to the law. Legal design consultants are solicited to help design and simplify legal documents such as terms and conditions, privacy policies, those things that no one really reads at the bottom of websites, insurance policies. Legal design consultants also typically train their clients through workshops on how to design user-centric legal documents and legal services. So if you're a law student or a lawyer who has an interest in design and innovation, in creating user-centric experiences, then legal design is definitely something that you should look into. The second and third careers you could look into is becoming a trademarks or a patent agent. I put them together because both professionals basically do the same work. They just do so with different types of intellectual property. Trademark agents and patent agents are professionals who perform a wide variety of tasks. They represent clients before the Trademarks and Patent Registrar. They help perform research, they help file for applications, and they generally advise their clients on intellectual property matters, either trademarks or patents. In order to become a patent or a trademarks agent, there is an exam that you need to write, and also a few requirements that you need to meet before writing the exam. I don't know how it is everywhere in the world, but I know that here in Canada, the patent agent exam is definitely a lot more difficult than a trademark agent exam. Also, just keep in mind that patent agents typically have a science background. Of course, I'll leave some links about the process in the description down below. But if working in intellectual property is something that you're interested in, but you just don't want to do so as a lawyer, then becoming a trademarks or a patent agent is an interesting career path to look into. If you have an interest in HR, then you might want to look into becoming a legal recruiter. We need recruiters in all industries, and that includes law. Legal recruiters typically help employers in the legal industry find qualified employees. It's a very social job in the sense that you constantly meet new candidates and new employers. Some legal recruiters work in recruitment firms. That's, I would say, where most legal recruiters work, but some of them also do work in law firms. It's a very interesting career path for those of you who still want to be in the legal industry but don't want to do lawyer work. Recruitment is not the only field where we need legal professionals. We also need them in legal publishing. All those books that you buy in law school, all those books and journals that you refer to as a lawyer, they're published by legal publishers. The same rules that you find in typical publishing, you will also find in legal publishing. So we need editors, we need people to do product development, we need people overseeing specific publications. If the academic side of the law is something that you enjoy, if you're really into writing and doing research but don't want to become a lawyer, don't want to work as a lawyer, legal publishing is definitely a fascinating field. Other career paths that you could look into if you're interested in alternative dispute resolution, ADR, is becoming a mediator or an arbitrator. Even though both are involved in alternative dispute resolution, they definitely don't do the same work. Arbitrators are solicited when parties to a dispute want to submit said dispute to one or multiple people who will be making a final decision for them, the same way that a judge would. Mediators, on the other hand, help the parties come to a settlement. So they don't make a decision for the parties the same way that an arbitrator does. They just help parties facilitate the process of getting to a settlement. The great thing about becoming an arbitrator or mediator is that you can definitely specialize. I know people who only do commercial arbitration. I know people who only do family mediation. There is no specific path to follow to become an arbitrator or mediator, at least here in Canada. I know in the US it varies from state to state. However, there are multiple associations and institutes that you could look into in order to find training. And of course, I will link to some of them in the description down below. If data protection is something that you enjoy or that you're interested in, then I would suggest looking to become becoming a privacy professional. Privacy professionals help organizations craft and implement privacy initiatives. Privacy professionals are becoming more and more important as companies collect more and more personal data about their consumers, but also as countries adopt stricter laws about data protection and privacy. Privacy professionals work in law firms, they can work in consulting firms, and they can also work in companies' legal departments. The gold standard for privacy training and privacy certification is the IAPP, the International Association of Privacy Professionals. They offer a wide variety of certifications, the standard being the CIPP, so the Certified Information Privacy Professional, and the CIPP is offered by region, so you have a CIPP for Canada, you have a CIPP for the US, etc. Another interesting career path that you could look into is becoming an artist manager. Managers help artists with their day-to-day business and they help shape and grow their artist career. The relationship between an artist and the manager is a very interpersonal relationship. It's a very intimate relationship. I know many managers who went to law school / practiced law before becoming a manager, and they all say that having that legal training definitely helped them. Legal knowledge is definitely a plus in that field because as a manager you do spend a lot of time negotiating deals, reading and reviewing contracts, and it really does help to have a good grasp on the legal side of things when you're trying to advise your client. In terms of where you can work, some managers are independent, meaning that they work on their own and they represent a few artists or maybe just one artist. Some managers are supported by a bigger structure, so they'll also represent one or multiple artists, but they will be employed by a bigger agency who will also be representing a wide variety of artists. And of course, there's always the option of starting your own management business where you can work with other managers or alone with support staff. The last career path that I want to talk about is rights clearance. I find that whenever we talk about intellectual property, we never really talk about rights clearance, which I find interesting because we get to see the result of their work on a day-to-day basis. Individuals who work in rights clearance basically work to obtain the right to a specific piece of content, whether it be a song, a video. So for instance, if a TV show wants to use a Kanye West song, they're going to look into who the different rights holders are, they're going to reach out to them, and they're going to try to negotiate a license. If rights clearance is something they're interested in, there are multiple places that you can work at. I know here in Quebec there are companies that specialize solely in rights clearance. There are also rights clearance positions in TV networks, movie production houses, film boards. I know Spotify hires rights clearance agents. For the most part, anyone who creates or broadcasts content is going to have people that are in charge of rights clearance. And of course, it's a kind of job where having a legal background is super useful because you constantly work with copyright, you reach out to rights holder, you negotiate contracts. I think it's a fascinating career path that we definitely don't talk enough about. That is it for today's video. I hope that this was useful to some of you. If you'd like me to elaborate on any of these, please just let me know in the comments down below and I will make specific videos about different career paths if that's something that you're interested in. Don't forget to like this video, to subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys very soon. Bye!